2 hours ago, the White House authorized a precision strike against Iranian proxy infrastructure in eastern Syria. F-15E Strike Eagles took off from Al-Asad Airbase in Qatar, targeted 3 militia command centers near Deir ez-Zor, and returned without incident. Clean operation. Surgical precision. Mission accomplished. Except Washington just walked into a trap it never saw coming. Exactly 117 minutes after American bombs hit Syrian soil, 6 separate attacks erupted across the Middle East simultaneously. Not random. Not opportunistic. Coordinated down to the minute. U.S. personnel at bases in Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and near the Israeli border came under precision drone and rocket fire in what defense analysts are calling the most sophisticated multi-front retaliation in modern proxy warfare. The first impact hit Tower 22 in northeast Jordan. 3 Shahd 136 drones struck living quarters housing American logistics personnel. 11 American soldiers wounded, 1 critically. The drones bypassed perimeter radar using low-altitude flight profiles specifically designed to exploit blind spots in U.S. early warning systems. Before medevac helicopters arrived, the second wave began. Al-Asad Airbase in western Iraq absorbed a barrage of Iranian-designed Fatah 110 ballistic missiles launched from positions inside Iraq itself. The base houses roughly 2,500 American and coalition personnel. C-RAM defense systems intercepted most incoming projectiles, but 3 missiles struck fuel depots, triggering massive secondary explosions visible from 40 kilometers away. Satellite imagery later confirmed the launch sites were mobile platforms that vanished into civilian areas within minutes. Then came the shock that paralyzed command centers across the region. Al-Tanf garrison in southern Syria, Green Village base in eastern Syria, Erbil Air Base in Iraqi Kurdistan, and a logistics hub near Haifa all reported incoming fire within an 8-minute window. 6 locations. 4 countries. 8 minutes. This was not retaliation. This was orchestration. The attackers, Kataib Hezbollah in Iraq, Harakat al-Nujaba in Syria, Houthi technical support from Yemen, and Hezbollah cells near Lebanon. But the timing, the precision across 2,000 kilometers, that does not happen without a single command authority. And that authority sits in Tehran. Within 90 minutes, Iran's foreign ministry issued a carefully worded statement that appeared almost scripted in advance. The Islamic Republic does not control the legitimate resistance movements defending their nations against foreign occupation. These groups operate independently based on their own strategic assessments and historical grievances. We cannot be held responsible for actions we do not direct, and we will not apologize for the resistance of free peoples. Plausible deniability perfected into a diplomatic art form. One senior defense official told reporters on background, "We hit 3 buildings in 1 country." They hit 6 bases across 4 countries within 2 hours using different weapon systems and tactics. That level of coordination does not happen organically. This was a loaded weapon waiting for us to give them an excuse to pull the trigger. The strategic brilliance is clear. By using proxies, Tehran maintained separation to avoid direct U.S. retaliation while demonstrating an ability to strike American assets across an entire theater simultaneously. The White House cannot bomb Iran in response because technically, Iran did not fire a shot. But here is what has the Pentagon in crisis mode. The sophistication reveals Iran's proxy network is no longer independent militias. It is a unified strike force with centralized command, shared intelligence, and the ability to execute operations that rival conventional military campaigns. The drones were GPS-guided with backup navigation designed to evade countermeasures. The missiles traveled in calculated trajectories to overwhelm air defenses. The timing across multiple time zones required secure communications and synchronized battle management. This is not guerrilla warfare anymore. This is near-peer conflict through proxies. American casualties are still being assessed, but the strategic damage is catastrophic. Every US installation in the Middle East now assumes it can be targeted simultaneously from multiple directions. Force protection requirements just became exponentially more expensive. Within hours, Republican senators demanded immediate large-scale retaliation. Democrats urged restraint. The White House is trapped between looking weak or risking uncontrolled escalation. Meanwhile, Israel sent terrifying signals. Defense Minister convened an emergency security cabinet and reportedly said, "If Hezbollah uses Iranian retaliation as cover for escalating operations, we will consider all of Lebanon south of the Litani River a combat zone. We will not wait for Washington's permission." US forces already stretched thin managing Iranian proxies while Israel potentially launches a full-scale invasion of Lebanon, triggering regional war with Hezbollah's 150,000 rockets. American personnel would be pulled into direct confrontation with the most heavily armed non-state actor on the planet. The international response reveals Washington's isolation. The EU called for de-escalation. China blamed American military presence for the crisis. Russia accused the US of violating Syrian sovereignty. Even Gulf allies like the UAE and Oman remained conspicuously silent. So where does this go? Trump has three options, none deliver what he wants. Option 1. Strike Iranian territory directly. Hit IRGC bases inside Iran. But that risks direct Iranian retaliation on American forces, Gulf shipping, or Saudi and Emirati oil infrastructure. Crude oil would spike past $150 per barrel within days. Option 2. Absorb the casualties and continue limited strikes on proxies. But that makes the United States look unable to protect its own forces. Every militant group learns that attacking Americans brings only predictable responses. Option 3. Withdraw from vulnerable positions, consolidate into defensible locations. Strategically sound. Politically disastrous. The optics of retreat after Americans were killed would haunt any administration. 2 hours ago, the White House thought it was sending a clear deterrent message. 2 hours later, Washington is staring at wounded soldiers, smoking bases, and the realization that Iran demonstrated an operational capability most Pentagon analysts believed was years away. Trump wanted to prove attacks on American forces have consequences. Instead, he proved Iran's proxy network can execute theater-wide strikes with coordination rivaling conventional militaries. The game board just got exponentially more dangerous. And right now, the White House has absolutely no answer for what comes next.